Hi all, today we are going to have a quick tutorial on Tribunal. As you can see from the help menu here, basically a tribunal is something you're going to do quite often. It's a staple of Be the King, and basically once you have 4 retainers that are above 60 or plus levels, they will be dispatched on a daily basis. Of course, there's also going to be dispatch tokens that you can use on top of the 4 daily retainers, and these will be the available retainers divided by 5. For example, if you have 10 available retainers, then on top of the 4 retainers, once you use the tokens of dispatch, you're going to have 2 more for a total of 6. Also, you can also have challenge and hunt tokens utilized on the enemy for revenge or challenges. Now, what are all these tokens of dispatches, challenges, and hunt tokens? I could just quickly go out here and go to my items, just so you know, and these are tokens of dispatches that you can use for Tribunal. These are letter of challenges that you could use for challenging or revenging on a player, and I'll show you how afterwards. And these are tokens of hunts that you could use to double your points, your tribunal points, and you could directly hunt down a opponent by knowing their code number, their ID number. Now, how do you use challenges and how to use hunts? One quick one is anyone who have hit you in the past pretty hard. I think like 5 more retainers plus. A few days ago, you could click on revenge, and then I'll just click on a revenge here, and you will use a letter of challenge to revenge that person by selecting the respective retainer, once per letter or once per hunt per retainer. Another way you could use letter of challenges is to go to the more info button on the bottom right here. This more info button will open up a list of all the prior retainer hits of other opponents that have been 20 or more. You could click on anyone here, for instance Root, and I'll select any retainer, and then using a letter of challenge I will attack the person who is either Groot, Atom, Alex Mac, etc. So that's how you can use letter of challenges. And of course, lastly, in order to use hunt, you could just click on messages and go hunt and directly enter the ID number of whoever you want to specifically hunt. With hunt, you will get the double amount of points and also knock the opponent down double amount of points in a hunt. So you want to hunt with probably your best retainer. Okay, so that's for token of dispatches, hunts, and letter of challenges and how to use them. Now, your retainer that you're going to be using, it is not the strength of the retainer that will be attacking the opponent. It's basically the overall aptitude that is utilized to knock the opponent down, and your HP effectively is the total attribute that you have. So one thing I would strongly advise when you attack is always, for the intern buff, always use the level 1 attack buff. Just for value, that is totally worth it. It makes no sense not to use that. And usually this is a normal Tribunal attack, so I will do a quick, since I do have VIP 6 on this account, I'll also do a quick one-tap hunt, click on Tribunal buffs, or actually I may not click on Tribunal buffs, and now I'm just going to confirm. This allows me to not use any buffs for the rest of the game, but use my first temporary buff to knock out my girl. Seeing that this retainer is pretty strong and I'm guessing my girl's pretty weak, I'll just go like this and knock my girl down. Yep, 38 straight. Okay, as you can see, I gain 76 Tribunal points. Book experience is 108, which is good for my aptitude. Skill experience is for Tribunal points, and of course 38 green orbs. Now what is good with the green orbs is you could farm these green orbs for things, for Tribunal events. Tribunal events would include, of course, in-server Tribunal events. It would of course also include cross-server Tribunal events, Alliance Tribunal events, let me think here, multi-server Tribunal events, World Tribunal, and Territory Wars. These are all effectively Tribunal events. Now I'm going to enter here, and as you can see, with my Tribunal, I now have about 6,738 orbs saved up that I've accumulated over time. So of course I would now use these for this multi-server Tribunal event. You almost always want to use the first buff. Instead of doing one tap, I'm just gonna go through this just to kind of show how it goes. Hopefully I won't lose too quickly. Ah, dang it. Okay, that did not work too well. But anyways, so just going quite briefly for the in-server Tribunal event. If you go against your own ally, it's up to you if you want to go attack hard or just go soft on your ally. But when it comes to Alliance Tribunal events, do not feel bad to go full on attack on your ally members in an Alliance Tribunal event, because you gain 2 points, whereas your ally loses 1 point, for a net of 1 point gain for your alliance anyways in an Alliance Tribunal event. Now when it comes to cross-server or multi-server or any of the World Tribunals, this is where it is smart to not be a farm. Now how do you effectively not be a farm, and what is the strategy to do Tribunals well? Now let's go back to my retainers. For my retainers, I currently have 35 retainers that are in-game and 15 retainers that are exiled. You exile the retainers once you have, I believe, more than 30 retainers. You could start exiling them. Any extra cages, I guess, cost you about 10,000 more gold. I've pretty much exiled 15 retainers so that I would not have 50 retainers out. The more retainers you have, especially when it comes to cross-server or a Royal Tribunal, you're going to be a farm. People are going to look for you and they're going to hunt you down because you're a good return on investment. They get pretty much 50 or 100 points each time they hit you. Almost. On top of exiling retainers, another strategy I tend to tell my allies are just to have retainers that are below 60. So I have, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have 9 retainers that are all level 59. Hence, whenever a tribunal happens for me, these retainers that are not exiled but are below level 60 will not be used in a tribunal. I will have a stronger retainer, maybe this one, which is pretty weak for 200 overall aptitude, 209 aptitude, or maybe I'll get a medium one, which will give me about 608 overall aptitude, or I could get probably a stronger one, about 3037 overall aptitude, to give me a stronger attack against my opponents in Tribunal. Also, their attributes are pretty high, making their HP and their attack in Tribunal quite strong. Now, the reason why you want strong retainers in Tribunal is that you'll go far, and the farther you go in a Tribunal, the more points, the more green orbs you get, the more books, and the more Tribunal experience you get. Now, let me just play an example for you, since that first one didn't work so well, unfortunately. And in a cross server, I will just use a letter of challenge, and so I open the more info, and I'm just gonna randomly pick. Oh, actually, let me go to my message and let me have a revenge on someone that has attacked me recently. So I'm looking at probably a slightly weaker opponent. 400, 300. Yeah, well, no, most of them are quite attackable. Okay, I'll just pick the first one. Screw it. So I'll revenge on that person. I'll just pick my strongest retainer, just to show this. Oh wow, this was crappy. Anyways, this is level 22, so I'll of course do my temporary attack, and I can actually pretty much one tap, one hunt this guy. But normally they're not this easy necessarily. And oh wow, he actually has some pretty strong ones. And the longer you go, as you can see, after a victory, you get 2 tribunal points, which in cross servers don't really matter, whereas in server or within your own server it matters more, because you rack up your tribunal rankings, which is bad because you want to go against weaker opponents, so you want your tribunal rankings to be lower off game. You gain 2 book experience. 200 book experience allow you to go up 1 star in aptitude, and of course you gain 1 orb. So each victory you gain, you effectively gain that each time. Also, whenever you complete 3, 6, and I believe 9, you get a winning streak, and a winning streak allows you to either gain more skill experience for tribunals, more book experience, or an extra dispatch token. Alright, okay, I've actually underestimated this guy, because he's at 22 retainers, so he must have exiled a lot of retainers and only kept almost his own most strongest one available, as you can see. So either his retainers are gray, which means they're level 59, as you can see up there, with total aptitude of 1, 2, 3, or else they're a prince or a duke, which is a pretty high level at level 350. So this guy has taken my advice that I'm giving you, but to a more greater extreme. Again, here's another level 59, so this guy will not be used in future tribunals, whereas his strong ones, oh, these are all strong, these are all princes. You can tell by the border around the yellow. Let me just click this one. Oh, I got 1,347. Okay, but I'm probably gonna still kick his butt because my retainer is strong. And another level 58. It's also sometimes smart to not push level 50, like stay at level 50 or stay at level 57. Because sometimes when you upgrade, it upgrades 3 times. So if you're at 58 and it accidentally upgrades 3 times, you're gonna pass the level 60 and you have a guy that could start going into tribunal, which you did not want to go into tribunals. So I'm gonna go much quicker here, so you don't have to waste too much time. So hopefully you get the idea of everything I'm trying to tell you about Tribunal. And the problem with this guy is he's actually a very bad target. Had I known he was only 22 retainers, which actually only gives me in challenges 22 points, I believe, which sucks. Or if I use the hunt token on him, it would give me 44 points if I were to wipe out all of his retainers, which may not be possible. Let me just check. 1,000, yeah, okay, yeah, I'm probably gonna kill him out. Yeah, okay. But he made himself actually a very bad target, because at 22 retainers, you do not want to hit someone like that. It only gives you 22 points, or with the hunt token, 44 points. So anything more that I want to say? Well, yes, Tribunal, preferably exile your retainers, or you'll be a farm on once you go cross-server and multi-server, and have a more vertical build. So instead of having leveling up all of your retainers, and then which thins out your items when you want to power them up, it's better to select your specific retainers, do a vertical build versus a horizontal build, have a group of elite retainers, and leave the rest of the junk or trash or whatever useless retainers that you've chosen to not level up at below level 60. Only when you decide to exile them, then maybe level them up and then exile them, since in exile their attributes still do contribute to your economy and your assets, such as your wheat, your monetary income, and your troop income. Even in exile, they do contribute to that. But aside from that, that is all for tribunals. And an example that I want to show you of opening a farm is if you look down here, the people at the bottom, yeah, you're gonna be these people at the bottom when you go cross server and you have a lot of retainers. In fact, I could even guarantee, so just to, for the sake of this video, Igsokana, okay. Yeah, if I were to attack Igsokana with a hunt, I could guarantee you that person has probably 40 or 40 something retainers. That's why that person is hunted to oblivion effectively. I think that is all, and if so my tutorial for Tribunal is done. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below. If you like or find this video helpful, please give me a like, subscribe, or share it with your friends. Alright, thank you.